It's home sweet home for the Friars. Providence will play its first home game in 25 days, looking for payback against Marquette. College basketball on CBS Sports Network is presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Tonight we're on the campus of Providence as we get you set for tip-off between Marquette and the Friars. A look at the standings in the Big East. These two teams have identical records both overall and in conference play. And hi everyone, welcome to Alumni Hall. Along with former Villanova coach Steve Lapis, I'm Andrew Catalan. Thank you for joining us for Big East basketball on CBS Sports Network. You just saw the standings. Coach, this is a big game for both teams.
It is a big game. Both teams probably on the outside looking in for the NCAA tournament right now. So this is a big one for both of them, and it's always a bigger game for the home team.
Let's take a closer look at the matchup in our fast analysis, which is presented by AT&T 5G.
Well, Nate Watson is having an all Big East type season. He does a great job of screening on the perimeter and then diving hard to the basket. He's shooting over 60% from the field on the season. And then for Marquette, Dawson Garcia, the freshman. They love to high-low. He's a guy who can go inside or step outside and shoot the three. Here he sets a screen. Now he flashes up. They don't come out on him. Boom. He knocks out the three-point shot.
Marquette won the first meeting 2 weeks ago at home. The rematch is coming up next from Alumni Hall in Providence, Rhode Island. We'll see you next on CBS Sports Network.
We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is going to fix all this?
First time since the 71-72 season that the Providence men's basketball team is playing all of their games on campus here at Alumni Hall. There is Steve Wojciechowski in his 7th season as the head coach at Marquette, coming off a very disappointing loss Saturday at home against DePaul. He told us earlier today we did not compete well in that game. As you take a look at the starting lineups, and Kobe McEwen had a great one-on-one matchup, if you will, 2 weeks ago when these two teams met in Milwaukee against David Duke. That's one to watch, and Ed Cooley will be watching closely now in his 10th year at Providence. 189 victories as head coach of the Friars. Our officials: John Gaffney, Jeff Clark, Evan Burrows. And we are underway on CBS Sports Network.
Hey, you know, Andrew, you mentioned them, but this is only the second time. I've been in the Big East since 1984. It's only my second time in this building. We've practiced here once.
McEwen's three is no good. Yeah, it's so strange to hear you say that. You would have figured you'd been to this campus many times.
Yeah, second time ever. We always play in the Dunkin' Donuts Center, but this Marquette team, you got to think, is going to come out with a big effort tonight. As you said, Andrew, very disappointing loss. They just didn't play their usual hard style against DePaul the other day.
Offensive rebound, but the putback not there from Nate Watson.
We got a sneaker loss, Andrew. We got a sneaker to the right.
Sneaker down.
Sneaker down.
And now we got to try to find whose it is. Oh, I see it. It's David Duke. Does not have a left sneaker on, and he's got the ball. He is dribbling with only one sneaker on, and he's laughing as he brings the ball up the floor.
You know what? These kids nowadays, they don't tie their sneakers tight. It drives me nuts. I don't understand how you can lose a shoe. And he's out there for a long time, barefoot.
Ball out of bounds. Yeah, now he's going to go get the sneaker.
Well, I wouldn't say barefoot.
Yeah,
he's got a sock on.
He has a sock on. It's like when the goalie in hockey loses his stick. He usually gets it back pretty quickly, but David Duke thought it was fun to go without one shoe.
I would have liked to have seen him drive it and get to the basket, you know what I mean, with one shoe on. But, you know, this Providence team, normally Ed Cooley has his team playing really great defense. They've struggled a little bit defensively. They'll mix it up, 80-20 man-to-man zone. Marquette will play almost all man-to-man, even though they threw some zone at DePaul because they had trouble guarding DePaul off the dribble.
Here is the freshman Garcia, and his three won't go. Ed Cooley always so candid, especially with you, Steve. You guys have a great relationship, and he was pretty adamant that his defense has not played up to the standard that he expects. He said normally we are much further along defensively. We've been struggling to get stops. That's something he's been preaching at practice the last couple of days.
And they've always been a little up and down when it came to shooting the three ball, but defensively they were always very solid.
Allen Breed getting the start again. Strong take, but could not finish. Jared Bynum continues to sit out with the groin injury. Nice speed by McEwen, but Garcia could not handle it. And it's Providence basketball.
Providence very fortunate there. They had good perimeter transition defense, but they lost a man inside. Very lucky that went out of bounds.
It's been another rough year for Marquette in the turnover department. They average 14 per game. They have the second worst turnover differential in the Big East. And not surprisingly, Wojo told us that the key tonight, take care of the ball.
Well, you know, Andrew, I think DJ Carton is a very good player, the transfer from Ohio State, but he's not a pure point guard. He's more of a combination guard. And I think that's probably what hurt. They don't have a pure point guard.
Garcia tried to feed it inside to John. Nice move to get around Watson, but again, nobody is able to put the ball in the basket so far.
They love to high-low with Dawson Garcia and Theo John. That was a picture-perfect high-low. Theo John has to finish that one.
Now we got a foul on the Golden Eagles. It's going to go on DJ Carton. First foul of the game.
But you take a look here. You can't get a better high-low than that. The seniors got to finish that off.
And another quick whistle, and this one's going to go on Jamal Cain. We had a chance to talk with Nate Watson of Providence yesterday, and he said, look, me and Theo John have been going at it since our freshman year, now both seniors. He said, I have a lot of respect for Theo, but when I get on the court, I do not have any friends on the other side of the floor. That should be another fun matchup to watch tonight, Watson against John.
Well, what a big step Nate Watson has made this year, Andrew.
Duke doesn't get the bounce. The putback not there for Nichols. Second chance, no. Three minutes in, we're still scoreless. And a foul down low is going to go on Jimmy Nichols, who that time was trying to D up John.
Well, one thing that Steve Wojciechowski has seen is that one of his big guys is going to be guarded by a guy who's kind of thin. I mean, there's a situation where that's got to get finished by Nichols. But Jimmy Nichols is going to get posted up a lot in this game because these big guys from Marquette are much bigger than him.
Last touch by John. It will be Providence basketball. Substitution for both teams as Noah Horkler checks in for the Friars, and the freshman Justin Lewis says come on the floor for Marquette. Well, so far we're a combined 0 for 10 tonight. Friars have missed 7 of those 10 shots. Duke for 3. And Horkler, the offensive board, right back out to Duke. Breed drives. Now we'll shoot, and we finally have some points.
Boy, this kid has been so fine, though, for Ed Cooley. His last 2 games, I mean, against Villanova, he's got 18 points. Game before that, when they beat Creighton, he gets 16. This is a kid who was really doing not much the whole year. The last 2 games, he's been terrific.
Carton fakes the 3. And now the shot clock is at 5. McEwen on the drive, left hand finish, yes, high off the glass.
Great defense until the last 4 seconds, and then Horkler ends up on McEwen, and he can't stay in front of him.
Breed again on the drive, got in close, but comes up short.
This looks like a typical Marquette Providence game.
I was going to say, with the way they've been shooting the ball early, I don't think they were going to let you back on campus again for another 10 years. Duke, wow. And the struggles continue.
I mean, a lot of these aren't even close.
Even the Friars telling us that, they don't even practice on this floor, and the sight lines are still something that they have to get adjusted to. And also, when you factor in this is Providence's first home game in 25 days, it's been a while since they've been in here. But that's a whole bunch of excuses. Watson tied up with John. There it is. We talked about their matchup.
Easy, easy. Well, we can see all the scoring so far in this game going to break.
Yeah, 2 baskets, 1 for each team. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Tied at 2 early on between Marquette and Providence. You may have heard that last night one of the officials in the UConn-Butler game tested positive for COVID, and therefore UConn's next 2 games have been postponed. And as a result of that, the referees tonight are all wearing masks with a little bit extra cushion at the bottom for the whistle, but certainly an adjustment here by the conference after what happened in Stores last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be tough for these guys to run around with masks on. I know in California, I had a couple of games at San Diego State. They have been wearing masks in California games all year long. So a precaution that the Big East decided to put in.
We asked Steve Wojciechowski earlier today about just the referee going down last night. He said, look, you can only control what you can control, but I will tell you that there is a lot of anxiety every day when we get our test results to make sure that everyone is negative.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that's like for a coach to get that list of test results and see what happens.
With 2 on the shot clock, that jumper is good for Greg Gant.
You know, the big thing for Providence this season is Watson and Duke scoring 37 points a game between them. But a third guy has to step up on a consistent basis. I thought that really, for the most part, from when I saw him, A.J. Reeves would be the guy, but he has just not shot it well. 29% for a 3-point shooter. That's not shooting it well.
Gant had the block on the defensive end, and Watson's jumper is too strong, and the rebound to McEwen.
That's a good pass.
Akeno, and that won't go. These 2 teams met January 12th at Marquette. It was a 2-point game with 3 minutes to go, and then Marquette pulled away for a 10-point victory. Very physical game. Teams had to be separated once, and you saw going to break before they were very close as well. Good follow there by Noah Horkler.
Yeah, Horkler's a good rebounder from North Florida, graduate transfer. Started in the beginning of the year, he was starting, and then Jimmy Nichols took over.
Already 5 offensive rebounds for the Friars. Well, tonight at 11 Eastern, we'll get you caught up in all your college hoops from around the country on Inside College Basketball. It's right here on CBS Sports Network.
Right now, Steve Wojciechowski is trying to find something to get going, because even a guy like Akeno doesn't play that much.
Just his 7th game of the year. And Theo John has gone to the bench for Marquette. The foul on the Friars was against Greg Gant.
And, you know, they had some good offense when they had the high-low going with Theo John. They just missed easy shots. That's a good move there. I like this kid a lot.
Yeah, Dawson Garcia gets a lot of the credit, and as he should, for being one of the talented freshmen on Marquette. But Justin Lewis is a really emerging player.
Absolutely. I mean, this kid right now is averaging 8 and 6. He's a really good freshman, really good player.
Game-winning tip-in at the buzzer to beat Wisconsin earlier in the year. 12.5 to go in the first. Duke. And Duke still can't get going.
You know, he's 11 for his last 46 coming into this game, Andrew. So he has really struggled in his last 3 Big East games.
0 for 4 so far tonight for Duke.
You're going to see here, Nice post move. Yeah, this kid's going to be I said it again. Lewis is a good player, but he's going to get better.
Foul is on Garcia. That's his first. Duke comes to the bench, and checking in for the Friars, the Syracuse transfer, Bryson Goodine, who's playing in his 9th game. He hasn't scored since early December against Fairleigh Dickinson. Assistant coach Pete Lapis. Here is Goodine, and that one halfway down and out.
That was a good shot. They ran a flex offense, got the jumper at the elbow. Can't knock it out.
A nice move off the glass right there for Torrance. Breed nearly lost it. And now Gant steps into a 3.
Whoa. I mean, he's made 8 this year, but that's not his strength.
He's now 8 for 26. McEwen around the screen and poked away by Horkler. Good play defensively.
Yeah, good defense because they were looking to post him up there.
Providence has lost 4 of their last 5 games. The only win in that stretch was at Creighton last Wednesday, which was a heck of a win.
Good pass.
Oh, the finish is not there for Croswell.
I mean, you got to finish that. Croswell has really struggled to score in the Big East, but he's got to make that.
Ed Cooley with some frustration after that miss by Croswell. And the foul for McEwen.
You know, the last time they played, Andrew, Marquette really destroyed Providence in the paint. They're starting to get into the paint now a little bit more consistently.
That first game, plus 14 in the paint for Marquette. Marquette leads by 2, 10:41 to go in the opening half. Well, this is day number 313 in a row that Ed Cooley has worked out. We had a great chat with him last night, and he told us that he does 6.5 miles every day, has lost 53 pounds, and he said the pandemic has been a life changer for him. He said he's a better dad, he's around his family more, he's a lot healthier, as we point out. And he said a lot of college coaches never get a break during the year. And he looked at the pandemic and tried to make the most of it and used it as almost of a sabbatical. And he said he's very appreciative for what it's done for him. He looks great. He feels good. He kind of admired 313 days in a row.
And most people are putting on weight during the pandemic. Like yours truly.
Yeah, me too.
And, you know, this guy here is in the best shape. I wonder if he can still hit the golf ball. He was in like 280. I don't know if he can still hit it 280 anymore.
As long as it's straight, he'll take it. He looks good. He feels good. We had a great chat last night with Ed Cooley and David Duke and Nate Watson. And Ed Cooley was happy to actually see us in the building because, as many know, the norm has become that announcers are not always at the games. Coach and I are here, and he gave us a standing ovation before the game.
And that's a great move by Dave Duke that time, taking it to the basket. Marquette doesn't step up and give any help on that.
After missing his first 4 shots, David Duke is on the board. Providence is now 4 for 20 from the floor. John and Watson. And a foul is called on Nate Watson.
Well, you're going to take a look. Dave Duke with a good move. And Carton gets stuck on the top side of that pick and roll, so he's not able to give any help. I really like for Marquette these high lows. I mean, there was another opportunity there for Theo John. He got fouled first on the floor. I think Providence is going to have their hands full guarding Garcia, Theo John, and Justin Lewis on these high lows.
Watson just hobbled off. Same thing happened in the first half at Marquette between these two teams. Watson missed some time in the first half with a left ankle injury in that game. He did return, but he's out right now, and Croswell's back on the floor.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, here's a team that struggles to score. And this guy obviously is a big part of their offense, averaging over 18 a game, shooting 62% from the field.
That was the 6th turnover of the half already for Marquette.
And as you said, Andrew, they averaged 14. That's been a problem for them all year. That's a good kick out.
Reeves wide open, and he hits.
I think he's a big key to their team because he has the potential to be a great shooter. He has not shot it well. He really should be that third guy between Duke and Watson. He should be the third guy.
Only 7 points combined in his last 2 games entering tonight, but he nails that wide open 3. Let's see if that gets him going. Here's Garcia, and the lefty's 3 won't go. Croswell to the floor, and he's pushed by Theo John. So a foul on the senior John. Let's go back to the play where Watson may have gotten injured, colliding with John, and then got tangled up awkwardly. And he is still on the Providence bench, stretching out his left leg. Ed Cooley telling us that Nate Watson is the most popular person on campus, not just amongst his teammates, but among the whole Providence community. He said he's never had a bad day in his life. Duke inside, knocked away by Garcia.
Boy, he's really been struggling lately.
But Marquette gives it right back. Duke from the free throw line is good. These turnovers continue to kill the Golden Eagles. 7 of them here in the first half. Oh, Nichols called for the foul.
That's good play. And then Duke takes it into the lane. And that's where he's at his best. Good size. And you know what else we have to talk about here is Bynum being hurt.
Sure.
And that is hurt because now Duke is back to playing full-time point guard. So his assists have been up the last 3 games, but his shooting percentage is way down. And a lot of that is because Jared Bynum has that groin injury. He's been out for 4 games.
Yep, 5th straight out. And without him, Providence has gone 1 and 3. Turnaround by John, nowhere close, out of bounds. And it will stay with the Golden Eagles.
And not that David Duke's he's been a point guard really his whole career at Providence, but it helped him a little bit to have Bynum out there, take a little of the pressure off so he can concentrate on scoring.
Carton trying to get it in. Way back, poked away by Duke. The first 12 games for David Duke, he was putting up 20 points per game, but he struggled over the last 3, shooting just 23% from the floor.
Yeah, I mean, he's shooting better from the 3-point line now than he's shooting field goal percentage on the season.
4 of 17 against Villanova on Saturday. That was a game that Providence led by 3 at the half, and then they got blitzed in the second half by Jay Wright's team.
That first half was ugly. Villanova looked like they hadn't played in a month, and they hadn't played in a month.
And Providence in that game turned it over a season-high 19 times. Nice move on the baseline by John. And the horn inadvertently went, and that will take us to a timeout. With 7:43 to go in the first half, the lead is 2 for Providence on CBS Sports Network. Providence leads by 2, 7:43 to go, opening half. Friday night, 8 Eastern, we drop the puck with another NCHC clash as number 2 North Dakota hits the road to take on 9th-ranked Omaha. Catch it all right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. So look at the top 10 in college hockey. Boston College, #1 in the country. And there you see North Dakota at 2 and Omaha at number 9. Right before the break, with the shot clock winding down, they wanted to confirm during the timeout that John got it away. He did. The basket is good. Early story in this game, the Marquette turnovers, 7 of them have led to 7 points for the Friars. Steve Wojciechowski's team has 4 Big East wins. They're 4-5 in league play. 3 of the 4 victories have come on the road. Winning at Creighton, at Georgetown, and at St. John's.
I think we're finding this year, Andrew, the road
doesn't mean anything.
Isn't what it usually means. Fans make a tremendous difference all the way around.
Reeves had that poked away going up, and here come the Golden Eagles. Watson is back in there, a good sign for the Friars. We'll keep an eye on him. And last touch by John.
You know, he's gotten some really good touches down low and has not been able to get it done there in terms of finishing it. That's pretty good defense there, though, by Theo John.
Second in school history in blocks. That was his 27th of the season. Duke McEwen, good matchup there. Duke wins at that time.
You know, David Duke has gotten so much stronger since his freshman year. He's tall, and he's very good getting in there like that.
After starting 0 for 4, Duke now has 6 points. Carton off the glass. And the action picking up a little bit here at Alumni Hall after a slow start. Breed, runner from the free throw line, won't go, and tipped right out to McEwen. McEwen, the Utah State transfer. He was the Mountain West Freshman of the Year in his first season up in Logan, and that one won't go. Duke, a lot of contact and an offensive foul.
Well, let's take a look at this last basket. Take a look right here at Lewis. He's going to set that little brush screen right there, and Breed is really behind Carton. He's got to get through that a little tougher because that wasn't even a great screen there.
McEwen around the screen, and good closeout defense there by Horkler. Carton 3. Well, one guy that is not yet to get it going tonight is Watson. No points. He's a guy that averages 18 per game, which is 3rd in the Big East.
Yeah, for them to be up 2 with him not scoring, that's pretty good for them.
Chris Monroe is checked in for the Friars. He's got the ball here with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Reeves is fouled on the 3.
Now that's a bad foul, because Reeves wasn't even taking a good 3 there. He was taking one off. He's a better catch and shoot guy. He was taking this one off the dribble. You got to just stay solid. That's not a good closeout. Out of control. You got to go up and down in the same spot with a hand up.
Second foul on DJ Carton. And Reeves, an 80% free throw shooter. As a team, Providence is 4th in the Big East from the free throw line. This Providence offense has really slowed down over the last 5 games. You look at their averages in November and December. They average 75 points per game, but here in January, just 67 points per game. Now, again, a lot of those games have been on the road. They have not been home in 25 days. This tonight starts the stretch where they'll play 4 of their next 5 on this floor.
It probably speaks to the fact, too, that most of these are all Big East games in January, where the competition gets certainly a little stiffer and a little more physical.
Lewis, great find and a foul down low on Gant.
I tell you what, Theo John is getting such good position down low. Take a look here. I mean, he goes up for this. He's got to finish that. But he does his work very early. He got 2 feet under the rim. You got to get in front of him. Gant can't just let him catch the ball there. I mean, he's going to destroy you.
Second foul on Gant. John, the senior from Minneapolis. His 113th career game under Steve Wojciechowski.
He's done such a good job getting a lot of really good position, but just not enough finishes.
Three points for Theo John. It's a 4-point game. Reeves, tough shot.
You know, that's what you want to do with Reeves. You want to make him bounce the ball. Good pass.
Lewis, the finish! Oh, the freshman throwing one down.
Yeah, that time Providence not getting back fast enough and not getting to the basket. First thing you have to protect in transition, the basket.
Monroe straightaway 3, won't go.
Wow. I tell you what, there's been a lot of shots that look like they're going to break the backboard.
Monroe is now 2 of 14 from deep this season. John uses his body and gets the roll.
Yeah, that matchup is really hurting Providence. That other guy besides Watson that's guarding the Marquette big, in this case John, is really giving up a lot.
That bucket ties it up at 18. And whistle inside. And that'll take us to a timeout.
Not too many transition baskets in this game, but there's one there for Lewis. We got a tie game. Warriors and Friars.
$18 all with 3:22 to go in the first half. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Wally Zerbiak, Ryan Howland, Seth Davis. They get you up to date on all the latest basketball news from around the country, plus first half highlights and analysis on AT&T at the half.
Well, you take a look at this transition defense by Providence. Nate Watson here, he's dead. He's got to be back in here. He's not getting back there, and what happens? They get it out in transition. Lewis goes. Nobody else protects the basket and sees it, and they get a layup. But let me say this. I have to apologize. I dated myself. I called them the Warriors. That's when Al McGuire was coaching. So now I dated myself. I can't believe I did that. But Al McGuire was the greatest. I love that man. He was so funny, such a great coach, and I guess I had an Al McGuire flashback.
Yeah, hey, a lot of Marquette fans are probably okay with this. 3 minutes to go, opening half. Duke with the left hand. He's got 8 points. Greg Elliott is checked in for Steve Wojciechowski. Here's Lewis. And the turnaround, no. And Watson is there with the rebound. Watson still doesn't look to be 100%
No.
as he runs down the floor. Breed for 3. Oh, John lost it. He was trying to muscle his way past Watson. Duke in transition. And now Reeves for three.
I mean, it's a pretty good look.
Providence is 1 of 9 from beyond the arc.
And, you know, they're playing a team manager that gives up 40% from the three-point line in Big East games. That's at the bottom of the Big East. But Providence not able to take advantage of their three-point defense at all.
Watson, dangerous pass. Duke chases it down. Duke, deep three. Yes!
He's starting to feel it now.
7th in the Big East, shooting the three. That was a sweet stroke from long range. And now he's in double figures with 11. And a timeout called by Marquette. 1:23 to go. It's a 5-point lead for Providence. Five-point lead for Providence, and after starting 0 for 4, Duke has now hit his last 5 field goals.
Well, they had a switch there, Marquette. Theo John ended up on him, and he just can't really get out on Duke, or Duke will go by him. So, not a great switch there by the Golden Eagles.
David Duke was really intriguing in our chat last night, saying over the summer with COVID, there was so much uncertainty whether or not there would even be a college basketball season. So despite some of the challenges these teams face each and every day, he said there is a great appreciation for just being able to go out here and play basketball. Very well-spoken junior, the Providence native, David Duke. Minute to go. Duke trying to go baseline. Bounces it to Reeves in the corner. And he still can't dial it up. Gant comes flying in for the offensive rebound.
They should probably try and get Watson a touch in the low post.
Reeves and a foul with 7 on the shot clock.
Yeah, McEwen just lets him go by. Got to force him to the sideline, get him out of the middle of the floor.
Second foul on Kobe McEwen. A.J. Reeves, the junior from Roxbury, Massachusetts, has played well in his career against Marquette, 11 points per game in the times he's faced the Golden Eagles. He had 12 in the first meeting a couple of weeks ago. This is the largest lead for the Friars. It's up to 7 as we have the final 30 seconds of the first half.
Well, Ed Cooley's got to be happy with the defense in this first half so far. But they've been getting it down there, but Theo John has not made them pay.
Torrance misfires, shot clock turned off, and the Friars can hold for the final shot. And Ed Cooley will talk it over. 14.9 to go. 7-point lead for Providence. When leading at the half this season, the Friars are 7-1, trying to get it going here at home. And after a very slow start, they've pushed their lead up to 7. David Duke has taken over here in the first half. He's got 11 points. How about Ed Cooley? He's showing us how light he is on his feet, losing 53 pounds. Let's see what he dials up for the final shot of the first half.
ISO for David Duke in the middle of the floor.
2 seconds to shoot. Duke won't go, and that will close out the first 20 minutes. Halftime at Alumni Hall. Providence 25, Marquette 18. AT&T at the half is coming up next. This is college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Back in Providence for the start of the second half. The Friars lead by 7. Hi again, everyone, with former Villanova coach Steve Lapis. I'm Andrew Catalan. David Duke led the way in that first half with 11 points. Let's take a closer look at our AT&T Fast Analysis, our AT&T 5G Fast Analysis.
Well, David Duke was terrific in the first half. Started off a little bit slow, but then was able to take it to the basket, knocked out a three-point shot also. So this kid, once he gets in the lane, is really tough. But for Marquette, 9 turnovers in the first half was the killer. Providence scored 9 points off those 9 turnovers. That was a huge key right there.
Take a look at our first half stats. Providence ended the half on a 7-0 run. The three-point shooting not pretty for either team. Marquette 0 for 7. Friars were 2 for 13.
Well, you think of this, Andrew. Providence shot 27% from the field, and they're up by 7 points in this game. So Marquette really has to get their act together.
Ed Cooley's team 7-1 when leading at the half this year, trying to get back to 500 in Big East play. Both teams entered at 4-5 in conference play. How about Nate Watson? That was one strange stat line from the first half. He did not score. Jamal Cain, a starter for Marquette, he did not score. He, in fact, did not even attempt a shot.
And he's a kid, Jamal Cain, who's doubled his numbers over his career, averaging over 10 a game this year. So he's a bit of a surprise. And they go right inside. I mean, that's what they saw for sure.
Nice move by John for 2.
I think that's something that's been there for Marquette the whole game. They have not been able to take advantage of it like they can. And there, Theo John made sure.
Reed on the attack, and wild shot won't go. Bounces off Carton's head right to Nichols. Shot clock at 3, and a foul is called on Theo John. One that he does not agree with, and that, for John, will be his second foul.
Now, when you let anybody catch the ball that deep, now I don't know if Watson is hobbled a little bit because he did go out in the first half, but that really was not good defense. He allowed Theo John to get him on his hip, and that's just way too easy. You know, you can't let a guy catch it that deep. You got to three-quarter him, front him, but you got to make it a little harder for him to catch.
Providence had been perfect at the free throw line until that miss by Nichols, and it was a rare miss by Nichols. He'd only missed one the entire year before that free throw. He's now 12 out of 14 on the season from the line.
I'll tell you who's big in the second half for Marquette is DJ Carton. He only scored 2 points in the first half. He is a guy who's got to get going for them.
McEwen and a foul on Duke. Second foul against David Duke.
Kobe McEwen, they're very aggressive again in the paint area.
In the first meeting between these two, McEwen had 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. And as Steve Wojciechowski pointed out to us earlier today, it was also the defense he did against David Duke. Yes, Duke had 17 points, but Wojo, who knows a thing or two about defense, was very proud of McEwen's effort against Duke.
Yeah, he shot a very bad percentage. And I noticed on that first possession, McEwen was looking to deny Duke the ball once he gave it up. I would think they want to get Watson involved in this game a little bit.
Duke is blocked from behind. And that is Kobe McEwen. We were just talking about his defense. Great play there against Duke.
I think it's going to be hard for Providence to win this game if they don't get Watson more involved.
On 7 of their 9 Big East games, Watson has scored at least 17 points. scoreless still tonight as Duke launches and hits from the outside.
That was not an easy shot, but you have to, the way you have to guard him now is you got to fight over every single screen because he's feeling it.
14 for Duke. And a whistle. And we're going to have a foul against the Friars. It's going to go on Jimmy Nichols, his third.
Now you take a look there, and really, Jamal Cain does not give enough help on that screen. You got to either switch it, or you got to get out harder and hedge, or you got to get over it. Bad pass.
And knocked away by Duke, but stays in Marquette's control. Parton nowhere to go. Over to McEwen. Shot clock at 1. McEwen beats it. Big shot with the shot clock winding down.
It was a big shot, Andrew, because Providence played really good defense on that possession.
McEwen into double figures. He has 10 points. Nichols. Nice move and the finish.
Providence loves that quick dive to the basket. You're going to see Nichols here set that screen and go quickly.
McEwen fakes the three. He got Duke in the air, and McEwen on the drive is fouled.
Providence loves to do this. Take a look. Jimmy Nichols set the screen and then dove hard and quick to the basket, and Marquette couldn't react fast enough. We showed that in the open of the game with Nate Watson. They do it there with Jimmy Nichols.
And Watson just picked up his second foul, sending McEwen back to the free throw line where he's 3 for 3 tonight. This is one area where McEwen has dropped a little bit. Last year, 85% at the free throw line. He's down to 76% this season. 1 out of 2 right there. 5-point game. Watson, yeah, he's calling for it.
Yeah, and Theo John is doing a good job of just not giving him good position down low. And there's that dive again.
Reeves catch and shoot three. Won't go down. McEwen again on the drive, lost the ball, and last touch by McEwen. Oh, nice cut by Duke off the feed from Nichols.
Yeah, look off the flex. They get a back door there on the corner.
Well executed by the Providence offense. Oh, Garcia was able to stick with it. Looked like Reeves was in great position to knock that pass away, but instead Garcia with his first bucket of the night. Duke and McEwen, here we go again. Duke, nice move, step back jumper. Won't go, and the rebound by Akeno. The redshirt freshman getting some run tonight. Garcia again, and the foul.
Not a good foul there.
Nichols hit him late. Garcia will have a chance for 3 when we come back.
Yeah, this is not a good foul. They lose Dawson Garcia, the freshman. Golden Eagles trying to come back, down 3.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky.
Providence leading Marquette by 3. Here's why it's good to have the ball live in the middle of the floor. Look at this. Nobody can help. Everybody has to be close to their man, so nobody's in here giving help. So what happens? Dave Duke he's standing upright. Look at him. He's putting Kobe McEwen to sleep. Now running from there. He does that little move. Side is clear. No help anywhere. Ball live in the middle of the floor. Great place to play offense is with the ball in the middle of the floor. Good pass.
Not a good foul, though, before the break by Jimmy Nichols. Not only was it late, but it was his fourth. So he goes to the bench, and now Garcia has a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, to grab your fourth on a basket, that basket was made. They made their mistake before that. They should have just let him score.
Garcia, the Big East preseason freshman of the year. Offensive rebound there by another freshman, Lewis.
What do they say, Andrew? Discretion is the better part of valor?
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah. Three-point game. Providence has taken 14 more shots than Marquette. Offensive rebounds in the Friars' favor 9-2.
Yeah, offensive rebounds and turnovers equal a lot more possessions. And that's why them only shooting 27% in the first half still gave a 7-point lead.
The thing you said about Valor, maybe John Rothstein can tweet that every morning.
Nah, he doesn't. He won't bother much. You know, he's quoting John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln.
He should start quoting Steve Lapis.
Yeah.
Third personal on DJ Carton. Oh,
good,
nice cut.
good
Horkler couldn't finish. Watson does. And that is his first bucket of the night.
And you called it, Andrew. That was a really good cut. Very fortunate that Watson was able to finish that one for Horkler.
Averaging nearly 19 per game. Watson's finally in the stat sheet. Garcia is starting to heat up down low. And we got a push-off against Justin Lewis.
Boy, Garcia's got to finish that one. He's got to get a little stronger in that low post area. But Horkler with the cut and curls. Lewis comes over to give a little help. And Watson finishes.
Here's Duke for three. That one is short, and the high rebound is grabbed by Torrance. Samir Torrance from Syracuse, New York. Here's Lewis. Yes.
Good shot.
Lewis from Baltimore. Steve Wojciechowski is a Maryland native, and he said he finally was able to get one guy from Baltimore to come play for him. It's not for a lack of trying. It's just a hard area, as Wojo told us, to get kids to leave that Baltimore area. I'm very proud and excited to have Justin Lewis in this program.
And let me tell you something, Andrew. I know that area well, having been in Villanova. It's not an easy area because you get out recruited by the ACC. You got Big Ten there, like Maryland. You got ACC. You got Big East. And on top of it, he's in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not an easy get for Steve Wojciechowski to go to Baltimore.
Lewis played on 3 state championship teams at Baltimore Polytechnic, and now in his first season under Wojo at Marquette. And here he is, blocked by Horkler. Reed is fouled. That's going to go on Torrance. First foul on Samir Torrance. Ed Cooley's team is ranked number 70 in the net, which is an important tool for the NCAA tournament. This would certainly help them out. You look at their wins, and certainly the best one last week at Creighton.
Yeah, that at Creighton game can go a long way. There's no doubt about it. At Seton Hall, that's a helper too.
Overtime win against the Pirates.
They also lost Alabama. I guess we're starting to see how good Alabama is right now.
For sure.
John Petty, their shooter, has been on fire.
McEwen was left open, but good closeout quickly by Horkler. Lewis lost it going up. And it's initially ruled Providence ball, but hang on a second. They've overturned it. It'll stay with Marquette.
That's the worst thing when you coach. When one ref calls it for you and the next guy comes in and goes the other way, you want to kill somebody. You always believe the first guy got it right.
I wonder how Steve Lapis would have done in gyms with no fans in games.
Yeah, I'm glad I never did that. I tell you, I never coached during a pandemic, and I never coached with social media. I'm glad about both.
Yeah. Down low, it's a foul before Croswell could get going to the hoop. Fouls on Dawson Garcia. And now Theo John will re-enter off the bench, and Justin Lewis will head out. Garcia has 2 fouls, and he's coming out. Lewis actually stayed on the floor.
Dangerous pass.
Yep, and a turnover. Kane.
Oh, he's traveling first, I thought.
And that's what Providence wanted. Instead, there's going to be a foul.
You know, it's funny when you're in a gym like this, it's the same size court, everything's the same, just feels a little tighter. You know what I mean? It just feels tighter, even for me sitting here watching it.
Friars played 1 game here in 2017, but as we told you earlier, prior to that, the last time they played here was 1972.
Was Joe Mulaney the coach? No, or Dave Gavitt?
Might have been Gavitt.
Yeah, might have been. Probably, yeah, I'm sure it was Dave. Yeah, absolutely.
First time Marquette has ever played here. In 72, it was Dave Gavitt.
Ernie DiGregorio.
Friars went 21-6 that year. Here's Reeves from the outside. And John going up high for the board. Croswell guarding John. McEwen turnaround, yes.
He's done some damage in the post area, McEwen.
First lead of the night since it was 9-8 Marquette.
Not a great offensive team that Providence has in the game right now. Croswell and Horkler.
And a foul is called. Tell you what, Coach, you can hear that Marquette bench. You got to create your own energy.
No doubt about
They're doing it right now.
Absolutely. Energy is always important. And when you go on the road, you always got to make your own energy. McEwen scoring there, and Marquette is now up 1.
Now lead it by 1. This is Coaches versus Cancer Week. All the coaches wearing sneakers in support of cancer awareness, and it's certainly a cause that is near and dear to Ed Cooley's heart. His mother-in-law, Nerese, died of ovarian cancer. His sister, Jean, died of liver cancer. And in Ed Cooley's office, he keeps a ball and pink sneakers in honor of his mother-in-law, Nerese. And he was going to bring it home to his house, he told us, but his wife said, look, if you're going to have this, keep it in your office so you can talk about her and talk about cancer. And that's what he does. He said anytime someone comes in his office, he will tell them about the ball and the sneakers and his mother-in-law. And he got choked up when he was talking about how cancer has affected his family, and he told us he will wear pink every day from January 25th, so he's already started, right to March 1st. In fact, last night during our Zoom with Coach Cooley, he showed us his pink sock.
Yes, he did.
And Duke is able to connect for two.
That was a good move, taking it to the basket hard.
18 for David Duke.
Little zone now from Providence, which they will do from time to time. Probably about 20%. And you know, when you have a David Duke on top of your zone, that's a pretty good shot by Lewis there. Mid-range jumper, good place to get the ball against the zone.
Marquette shot 35% in the first half. This half, they're 7 out of 10. Horkler on the low block and maneuvering around the defense for the bucket. Back and forth we go. It's a 1-point Friars advantage.
And now a little 1-2-2 3/4 court press.
Elliott, no. But Lewis hustling, saves it right to Horkler. Breed has been quiet tonight, and he is fouled on the shot. Foul is on Kobe McEwen, and that is his third. Steve, Noah Horkler has given Ed Cooley some nice minutes tonight.
Yes, he has.
Transfer from North Florida. And Breed at the line where he's 0 for 2 tonight.
He's got 4 rebounds and 3 steals in this game.
He's from Melbourne, Florida. He spent his first 3 years at North Florida. He said his hobbies are fishing, surfing, and going to the beach. Wonder how he's enjoying the winter in Providence right now. A couple of inches of snow on the ground.
Interesting, on a missed free throw, they get into that pressure. It's a 1-3-1 zone, which you don't see. They don't even play 1-3-1 a lot. Most of the time, it's a 2-3.
Garcia, turnaround. Ball is loose, and there he is again, Horkler.
I like the switch to the zone, even though Marquette did score once. Not moving the ball as well.
Watson gets it to rattle in.
You know, against this kind of a defense, you got to get the ball in the corners. Ball has to travel.
That's the 12th Marquette turnover.
And you're going to see Nate Watson just pop out. Lewis stays a little too long. And Watson wide open.
Torrance is at the scorer's table, set to check in for the Golden Eagles. Gant. And that is going to go back over to Marquette. No, a foul is called. Wow, that looked to be Marquette basketball. Instead, they whistled Greg Elliott for the foul. First foul.
Wow. That's not a good call. Steve Wojciechowski's not going to be happy when he sees that one.
So Gant is at the free throw line, where he's 7 out of 12 this season. It's a 1-and-1.
You know, I'm seeing Marquette, just especially once Providence went to the zone, point guard. you got to have a guard out there to make something happen. It's just, you just don't see it. And I think that's why he brought Torrance in, see if he could do something.
Seven straight points for the Friars.
Yeah, this little pressure here has been a good change for Ed Cooley. You got to attack this in the foul line area or in the corners. And the ball's not getting to either one. Well, now it's in the corner.
Elliott, triple, yes. And that stops the run.
And that's where you got to get the ball against the 1-3-1.
Doesn't shoot many, but Elliott 45% from deep this season. Watson has the size advantage over Lewis.
The senior on the freshman.
Instead, hands off for Duke. Another three. Yes, David Duke.
Tough shot off the dribble three.
21 for Duke. That's 10 seconds.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
Barely. Now Lewis throws it down.
Oh, I like this kid.
They just got that across.
Yeah.
And then Lewis made him pay.
That could have easily been a 10.
And then a foul is called up top on Torrance with 7:54 to go. Timeout on the floor. It's a 4-point game.
Well, a three here from the corner. And then David Duke. Tough to guard this kid. Justin Lewis, 47-43 Friars.
We're back with the game summary brought to you by AT&T 5G. And Steve, turnovers continue to be an issue for Marquette this season.
And the worst thing is the points off the turnovers, 13-2. That is a huge number in a 4-point game.
With our producer Deb Bulak and our director Matthew Plundo, Steve Lapis, our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. We thank you for joining us for Big East basketball on CBS Sports Network. David Duke started 0 for 4 tonight, but since then he's 9 for his last 13, and he leads the way with 21 points.
Yeah, we had talked about him going 11 for 46 in his last 3 games, but little home cooking always helps.
And Duke at the line for a 1-and-1. Already garnering some NBA interest in his junior season. He is certainly a guy that NBA scouts and GMs have been cramming to see more of.
Oh, big, handles the ball, can be a point guard easily at 6'5". Good body, he's gotten a lot stronger and has improved his shooting. He's a definite prospect.
Watson was able to knock that one out of bounds.
Now they had Chris Dunn a couple of years ago, who's a pretty good player,
sure
too.
Is.
And he also had that good size like him.
Ed Cooley telling us that he's never had a player with a better work ethic than David Duke. He says he literally has to tell him to go home and leave the gym. And they're going to count the basket there for Greg Elliott.
That was a good pass into the teeth of that zone. You're going to see right here, off a little pick and roll. Looks like Hawkler. One thing you can't do when you play zone is let somebody sneak in behind you. You got to constantly have your head on a swivel and look for people cutting. That time Hawkler lost his guy.
Duke was trying to dribble between defenders, lost it, but it will stay with the Friars. Had a season-high 30 at Xavier, including a career-high 7 3-pointers earlier this month.
This kid was a 20-some% three-point shooter as a freshman.
Watson with the shot clock at 5. Spins on Garcia, and he took too many steps.
And, you know, I'll say this about Duke, too, Andrew. When he came in, he was a highly acclaimed recruit, and he didn't really get off to a great start, showing that he was a big-time player, but he's gotten better and better, and that's because of the work ethic that Ed Cooley has told us about.
Now you see the increase in points per game right there. Tough pass there. Lewis was trying to connect with fellow freshman Garcia.
He was a bit of a fish out of water as a freshman. He wasn't really a point guard. He wasn't really a two. He struggled to shoot it, but boy, he's just gotten better and better. That's good help that time by Watson.
Lewis with the left hand. Justin Lewis, what a move to the hoop.
What a move with a couple of bounces. That's the impressive part of that move.
He's got a dozen. We've got a 2-point game. And a whistle away from the ball. And Marquette is going to be whistled for a foul. And that'll send Providence to the free throw line.
I mean, he goes in and out and is able to finish right there. That's a good move on Watson.
That's a freshman.
And he finishes there with the left.
The foul was on Kobe McEwen. That is his 4th. So McEwen will go to the bench with 6:20 to go. We'll see how long Wojo keeps him there.
Yeah, he can't be there long, Andrew, because he's been their best perimeter player in this game, really, by far.
Duke makes them both. He's got 25.
You want to buy 2 minutes if you can. Get to the under 4. Well, they could use DJ Carton to step up now a little bit.
He's got the ball in his hands right here, guarded by Breed.
Against DePaul, he was their only player in double figures with 23 points.
That was a career high. Carton, there he is, and he's fouled. And they're going to get Nate Watson on that one. 3rd foul on the senior Watson.
Not really great defense by Duke that time. You got to really contain the bounce. Whether you're playing man or zone, dribble penetration is a killer.
DJ Carton, a big-time recruit out of Bettendorf, Iowa. As a kid, he went to Marquette's basketball camp, but in the end chose to go to Ohio State. Was there last year, left the program in January, and when he went to transfer, he already had that foundation with Steve Wojciechowski from attending his basketball camp. They knew a little bit about each other from those days, and here's Carton playing in his sophomore season for Wojo.
Now here's what you don't see often, and that's Marquette playing zone. About 3% of the time, but they did use this a lot. And a steal right there. It's a good move by Steve Wojciechowski.
There's DJ Carton. He learned that in camp as a kid, and he ties it at 51.
I like the switch to the zone. They don't use it much. They've used it a lot against DePaul because DePaul was killing them off the dribble. Pretty good move here now. Let's see if Providence can start moving. A lot of times you start standing around when somebody switches to his zone. Good move.
Borkler couldn't get it to drop, though, and Garcia clears.
Both these coaches in a chess match in the second half. Providence sticking with that 1-3-1, 1-1-3 zone.
Carton finds Elliott in the corner. His 3 is good. Timeout, Providence. Big shot from the corner by Greg Elliott, and it's been DJ Carton that has been the catalyst the last couple of minutes. The pass here, Elliott the triple. This is college basketball on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. And Steve, Boise State, one of your surprise teams this season.
Boy, I'll tell you, Leon Rice has the best team he's ever had at Boise State. A lot of it, they got a transfer from Arizona, Acott. He's got Derek Alston Jr., who's maybe the best scorer in the league. But these other teams have been a surprise. I mean, Virginia Tech, they're the only ones that handed Villanova their only loss. And Alabama's been absolutely on fire, running. They had a close game with Kentucky last night and ended up blowing them out at the end. Not that Kentucky's great this year, but Alabama and Nate Oates, they like to push it up and shoot a ton of threes.
You see the foul situation with just inside 5 minutes to go. Nichols is back on the floor with 4 fouls for Providence, but McEwen continues to sit with 4 for Marquette.
Absolutely. You're Steve Wojciechowski. You're buying plenty. You're up 3 now, so you can buy a little more time if you want.
11-2 run, Watson. He's been very quiet tonight.
And Providence goes back to their man-to-man, which I agree. I think that Marquette started to find the seams in that zone and was getting a little too comfortable.
Here's Elliott, who just hit that big 3. Now to Carton with the shot clock at 3. Deep 3, Carton. No. And Breed will track it down in front of the Marquette bench. Golden Eagles have 3 timeouts remaining. Providence with 2. Duke thought about a 3. Now over to Reeves. His triple is good. And he ties it at 54.
I'll give Reeves credit that he's playing very aggressively. A lot of times you see him play, he's passive. He's not being passive in this game.
He had 7 points in the last 2 games. He's got 11 tonight. Carton step back 3.
Tough shot.
Garcia, though, keeps it from going out, and now a foul. Great hustle play down low by Dawson Garcia. And a timeout with 3:17 to go. Another tight one in the Big East on CBS Sports Network. Set up for a big finish here at Alumni Hall on the campus of Providence. It's tied at 54 with 3:17 to go. Time now for our Old Trapper Beef Jerky player of the game. How about it, David Duke? He's had quite a night.
Well, he started out slow, and he had been struggling coming into this game, but coming home, playing very aggressive. He's had a terrific night, and he's the guy that's got to take them home, but he has had a great game.
The Big East's second leading scorer has gone for 25 tonight, and also chipped in with 4 assists. If you're Providence, you know you're going to Duke down the stretch. Who are you going to down the stretch if you're Marquette, Steve?
Well, that's a good, you know, the best thing that they've done is get the ball inside. So, I mean, you get it to Justin Lewis, you get it to Dawson Garcia in the low post, good things are happening. Obviously, Corey McEwen has been very good here in the second half. He's now back in the game.
With the 4 fouls. Just as you said, wait to get to the under 4 timeout, get him back in. That's exactly what happened with Kobe McEwen. Carton is 2 for 2 at the line, and he cannot get the first one to go. Providence basketball. Such a pivotal game in the Big East. Both these teams with identical records. 8-7 overall and 4-5 in league play. Reeves 3. No, it's short. Followed by Watson and the foul. He's been quiet all night, but Watson with a huge putback. And a little shaken up after that one.
Yeah, he took a shot in the nose there, but I'll tell you, that was good offense against the zone. They got the ball to the foul line, kicked it out to Reeves, who had a wide open 3. I mean, that's a pretty good shot. And Watson, see, that's the problem with the zone. You don't get his good box out position. That time, Justin Lewis allowed Watson to box him out, and that's how Watson gets that offensive rebound and 1.
Lewis hit him from behind. You saw there on the replay. And the 3-point play for Watson. He's got 7 points tonight. He's greatly improved at the free throw line. 56% last year, over 71% this season. Well, Ed Cooley told us he's been disappointed in his team's defense. An opportunity to shine here. Garcia. And a foul is called.
And Marquette switched up there. Garcia saw that he had David Duke on him and wanted to take it up in the post.
Foul is called on Breed for the help defense there, and will send Garcia to the line. 1-1 for Dawson Garcia.
Very good free throw shooter.
78% on the season. And he makes the front end.
And interesting that Steve Wojciechowski going with the two freshmen at the 4 and 5 position right now.
Yes, Steve, we have not seen much of Theo John here in the second half. He just topped off the bench, was going to go to the scorer's table, and then Steve Wojciechowski sent him right back. So Wojo's running with this group with 2.5 to play.
I think he was going to put him in had he made that foul shot for defensive purposes.
And the flush.
He probably wish he had him in. Because right now, Justin Lewis, that's 2 possessions in a row.
Watson just rattled that backboard. The lead is back up to 4, and timeout called by Marquette. 2:10 to go. Friars trying to hold on at home. Providence leads by 4. They have had a couple of real tough losses late this season. January 2nd here against Creighton. Christian Bishop dunk on the final possession, and the Friars lost by 2. And then the one at Xavier, Colby Jones with the 3 to give the Musketeers a 1-point win. And Ed Cooley's club hoping for a different result down the stretch tonight.
Those 2 games just changed the season.
Carton has a clear lane and an easy 2 for DJ Carton.
Yeah, Ed Cooley doesn't understand that one. Where was the help defense? Green just let him go right by him. And they're going to Watson late, but that's why Theo John is back in the game, and they double him.
Watson has scored the last 5 points for Providence. Here's Nichols for 3. No good, in the rebound to Carton.
I give Steve Wojciechowski credit. He came with an aggressive double team that time that they had not been doing.
Oh, John could not handle the pass. And a turnover by Marquette with 1:23 to play.
I'll tell you, both these coaches have done a really good job tonight. A lot of changes, a lot of things different, a lot of adjustments. It's been fun to watch.
13 turnovers for Marquette. It's turned into 13 points for the Friars.
You can expect that aggressive double team to come back. They're going to take their chances with Jimmy Nichols. Justin Lewis will leave him the double.
Duke triple, no, and the rebound to John with 1 minute to play. Carton finds John for the flush. And we are tied at 59.
A little too easy there. I mean, to come down and not even throw a pass and get it into the lane like that.
And Ed Cooley wants a timeout with 45 seconds to go.
I mean, that's a really good pass. But where was Nate Watson? We have a tie game.
A look at our game reset. Marquette with 2 timeouts left. Providence has 1 and the possession arrow in their favor. 45 seconds on the clock. It is Providence ball. Steve Lapis, if you're in that huddle, what are you diagramming for your Friars offense?
Well, you get the ball to Nate Watson, you know he's going to draw a double team, which means if you kick it out of the double team, somebody's going to be open. But the other thing is, does Ed Cooley go 2 for 1? If they can get a good shot in the next 7 seconds, they can get the last shot of the game. But the more important thing is to get a good shot, not to shoot fast. But if they can score in the first 7 or 8 seconds, or take a good shot in that time, they are guaranteed to get the last shot of the game, and that would be good. So let's see if Ed Cooley goes 2 for 1. But you always tell your kids, Andrew, in this situation, yes, we'd like to score in the first 7 seconds, but if we can't, don't worry about it. The key is to get a good shot.
Already saw a wild game in the Big East tonight. Creighton was down double digits against Seton Hall. The Jays came back and won that one, a tight one late. And we got a tight one here in Providence, tied at 59. Breed over to Duke. 2 for 1 does not look like it's going to happen.
Does not.
Duke, tough fadeaway, won't go. Follow, no. Nichols couldn't get it.
Well, Marquette's going to take the last shot of the game.
Shot clock is turned off.
I would go to the high-low. I think their best set this game has been the high-low. But they're going 1-4 low with Carton. They're going to probably try and get it to McEwen, it looks like, out of this set.
Steve Wojciechowski has a timeout. He's just going to run it. Here we go. 5 seconds left. Carton over to McEwen. He slips. McEwen trying to call timeout, and he gets it granted with .8 on the clock.
And you think Ed Cooley, I think, wanted to travel there.
Yes. McEwen slipped to the ground. Ed Cooley was looking for the travel, no call. And now you're seeing the Marquette assistant saying go to the monitor to maybe get them a little extra time.
Yeah, this is not a good possession, obviously. It was a good closeout by Breed.
What do you think?
I think it was a travel.
The officials are at the monitor to check out the clock.
Oh, they said definitely should get more time.
Yeah.
It's 1.1, 1.2, which is a significant difference. Yeah, it's definitely more than .8.
Well, the Golden Eagles have had a couple of great finishes already this season. How about the end against Wisconsin? The putback by Justin Lewis as time expired.
That's a killer on a missed free throw.
And then the winner for Xavier at the buzzer against Marquette. So they've had a couple come right down to the buzzer. They're 1-1 this year, hoping to add one to the win column here against the Friars. John Gaffney, Jeff Clark, Evan Burrows still huddling up. They have not reset the clock just yet. We still have .8 to go. And they are not adding time.
Wow.
So what do you have time for here, Coach?
Well, I mean, you do have time for a catch and shoot. You know what I mean? But it's got to be, as soon as you catch it, you got to shoot it. I mean, obviously, if you could throw it into the post quickly, that'd be better. But right now, you really will take anything. And obviously, if you're Providence, don't foul.
Yes. It looks like it'll be DJ Carton to inbound for Marquette.
My guess is they're going to try and throw something into the block.
Tied at 59. Carton trying to get it in. Here's Elliott at the buzzer. No good. And we are going to overtime. It'll be the first overtime game this year for Marquette. Providence is 2-0 in OT games. Another look as Elliott threw it up at the buzzer. And we are not done. 59-59. Put 5 more on the clock at Alumni Hall. In terms of foul trouble, it's Kobe McEwen who's got 4 fouls. He's got to be careful in this OT. Jimmy Nichols also playing with 4 fouls. for Providence. 5 minutes on the clock. You haven't been to Alumni Hall in a decade, Lap, and you're going to get 5 extra minutes. At least.
A decade?
More than that?
Oh my God. How about this? 1984.
Okay, that's a couple decades.
Yeah.
3.
We practiced here that year we won the championship one time. That's it.
It seats just under 2,000, but of course no fans tonight on campus at Providence. Here's Duke with 7 on the shot clock. Duke just inside the line. And a rebound by McEwen.
McEwen goes in and goes after that one.
Carton really picked up his play in the second half. He's got the ball here. And now out to Elliott. McEwen with the shot clock at 4. McEwen launches from deep. And it's rebounded by Reeves.
Both teams, first possession, end of shot clock, really didn't get much. I like David Duke's shot better than McEwen's. There's that. They've run that a few times.
Oh, Duke is fouled. It was a great cut by David Duke, and now he'll shoot 2.
They've done that a couple of times in this game. They throw the ball to the elbow. That side is cleared. We pointed out for Jimmy Nichols throwing the pass both times, by the way.
And the foul goes on DJ Carton, and that is his 4th foul.
Now that's a good foul.
Duke is 6th in the league in free throw shooting at 83%, and he misses.
This is bad.
Garcia back into the game for Theo John. There's a look at the foul trouble. Carton and McEwen with 4 for Marquette, and Nichols has 4 for Providence. Duke 1 out of 2. 26 points tonight for David Duke. His season high is 30. It came earlier this month at Xavier. Lewis, good defense by Watson, getting a hand on that one.
Really good.
Nate Watson has picked up his game after a very quiet first half. Still not a typical Nate Watson night, but he's made his presence felt a little bit more here down the stretch.
They were trying to run a clear out that time for Duke on the right side.
Duke for 3. Yes! David Duke has 29.
There is nothing better to have at the end of the shot clock than a guy like him.
And the lead is up to 4. Inside 3 to play in overtime.
The good thing about David Duke is his shot clock's winding down. He's going to get something.
Carton trying to answer too strong, and there's Duke for the rebound. Providence can chew up a little clock here.
Now they're running their flex offense, Providence. It's a really tight flex that Al Skinner used to run at Boston College when Ed was assistant. Oh, good cut.
And Duke is fouled again, and I believe that's on McEwen. That'll be his 5th. And it is.
Really good execution there by Providence with that tight flex. I remember when I was coaching against it, when Al Skinner would run it when Ed was assistant there. Very tough to guard.
Boise State, Colorado State is underway, and it's now available at cbssports.com/CBSSN. Again, it's cbssports.com/CBSSN. We'll get you there as soon as we're done here in Providence. McEwen is done fouling out with 13 points. Those two had such a good battle in Milwaukee a couple of weeks ago. McEwen and Duke, there was a little extra trash talk as well. We asked Duke about it. He said, look, anytime there's a back and forth like that, there's some pride that takes over. You want to go out there, and it's fun to compete, and Duke did a great job of competing tonight. He got the better of McEwen. 29 for Duke as he misses another free throw.
I'll tell you what, Andrew, the ball handling for Marquette is taking a big hit now, too.
And Duke matches his season high. He has 30 points to go along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. He has scored all 5 points in overtime for the Friars. Carton spins and finishes.
You know, Providence thought he was going to hand the ball off on the wing, and he just kept going.
Right now, they've got Torrance matched up defensively on Duke.
Duke's much bigger.
Torrance trying to hold his ground. Duke over Torrance. No. And the rebound to Marquette. Up ahead of the pack is Elliott. Breed gets back. Oh, and Breed picks his pocket.
I'll tell you one thing I've seen about Breed being close up. He's really quick.
The 7th steal tonight by the Friars.
And here's that tight flex again. Trying to get the ball into Duke.
And we have a foul. With 9 on the shot clock, Torrance is whistled for the foul. Remember, he's been covering Duke since McEwen fouled out.
And I'm pretty sure Ed Cooley just told Dave Duke, you got him, pointing to Carton.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Wow. This guy had a chance to ice this game.
He was now 6 out of 9 at the free throw line. And still a 1-possession game with 1:14 to go. (65-61). Carton again.
Oh, no.
Get out! What a throwdown by DJ Carton. Unbelievable. And we got a 2-point game.
I didn't know he had that, I got to tell you. First of all, it was a great move. Inside out shape. Wow.
40 seconds left in OT. Carton guarding Duke. It goes to Breed for 3. Big shot! Allen Breed! The freshman Breed with just his 7th 3 of the year. Garcia can't answer, and Reeves tracks down the loose ball. And there's the foul with 20 to go. Wow, catch our breath. What a dunk by Carton, and then Breed the triple.
I like the inside. Oh, he shook him hard there. Oh, my goodness. His head was on the square. Oh.
Wow.
I tell you, he shook David Duke pretty good.
But then Breed, give the freshman credit. He's not had a great night, unlike the last 2 games when he's played very well. And he stepped up and hit a huge triple for Providence.
Huge. And it was a good play, a good kick. Wide open. He knocked it out.
Reeves is 6 for 6 at the line. He's got a dozen tonight. And the lead is 7. Greg Gant comes in as Watson goes to the bench. Carton lost it. Duke takes it away. Up ahead to Nichols. And Marquette is not going to foul. Except they will, as soon as we say it. Looked like Wojo was calling off the Dogs. Instead, it'll be Breed at the line. Now, what a win this will be for Providence. had lost 4 of their last 5. Tonight, starting a stretch where 4 of their next 5 were at home. So they knew they had a chance to get right in a big matchup in the standings in the Big East.
And you know, you're Steve Wojciechowski. You think of that last possession of regulation. I mean, you've got the ball for the last shot. You've got like 20 seconds, and you don't really get anything good out of it. And you had your chance.
And McEwen slipped to the ground. And then a last-second desperation heave by Elliott was no good. Torrance from deep. It won't go. Breed the rebound, and that will do it. Ed Cooley's team wins in overtime 72-63. A season-high 31 points for David Duke. We update the standings. Providence now 5-5 in league play. Marquette falls to 4-6. Once again, our final score 72-63. For Steve Lapis and our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. More hoops after the break. Boise State and Colorado State coming up next.